Hello guys and gals, me Alex, and welcome back to another random topic that's been going on recently, and I thought I'd give my my little 2 cents of advice in there and kind of clear up the whole idea what MoMo is all about. So obviously that's the topic about today's video. MoMo, for some that don't know, let's just give you a quick little summary. Essentially, MoMo was a prop character. I always want to say it was put in a video game just because I played it at one point in time. It's a stupid mobile, well, not even a mobile game. It was just a stupid game that an EXE type of deal game. This is way before I started actually making the EXE games at one point. But nonetheless, I found it kind of interesting the fact that this started off as more of a horror meme, kind of something that started a little trend on YouTube where people were like 3 a.m. calls or something like that, or FaceTime 3 a.m. calls, and then they just pretty much have somebody on the other end blocking their number and just showing there's like a picture of MoMo. Essentially, MoMo was a horror meme and kind of stopped there for a little while, and it's kind of interesting to see that MoMo's made another appearance, essentially. Essentially, MoMo is now made its way over to I don't even know if it's a him or a her anymore, but it's pretty much made its way over to the YouTube Kids section. So, and what's quite interesting about what this whole topic has come up to is the first time I'm actually seeing parents caring or giving a shit about what their kids are watching. Now, before we jump into this whole topic, essentially, and I should elaborate on what I meant by that, parents do give a shit about what their kids watch. I know this for a fact. I have little cousins. I've seen kids, their parents, the best way my dad has always said it, they're electronic babysitters, tablets, phones, everything. You go to a party and you have a kid, you're most likely giving them your phone just so they just stay quiet and stay in that corner. Don't make a scene, essentially. Unfortunately, I was never that kind of kid. I have a Game Boy Advance, so that was my electronic babysitter, but we won't get into that. So what was interesting about the whole situation is the fact that I've seen, I have two cousins, little cousins, but I don't know if they've been affected by the situation, but the whole thing about MoMo is this new challenge they're claiming it to be is pretty much at the end of it giving kids leading up to a series of events that they need to do, or the challenge itself, and then end up leading into committing suicide. Apparently there, at the time of this recording, or the time I'm uploading this video for you guys, it's there's no actual real cases of this issue affecting any kids, or like actually seeing a bad after effect of what kids are doing in this sort of situation. So that's a good thing at the end of it. But what's quite interesting is, for someone to slide this kind of stuff in the video, and this is not anything new to like YouTube in general, especially in the kids section. There was the whole Elsa Spider-Man, there was the Elsa Gate that they called it. That was the issue at the time, and there's just there were at one point they were hiding like porn clips inside of kid videos. It's kind of fucked up to think that what is the gain out of this? Like, you're listen, if adults are doing this shit to fuck with kids, you wonder why the older generation calls us dumbasses at the end, us millennials, essentially. Yes, I am a millennial. I don't fucking care. I hang around old people all the time. I hear the shit more than I should. The joke is almost as dead as the people making them. I'm sorry, I had to make that joke, but we're not going to get into that. Just all memes aside, let's get back into the actual topic of today's video. But what's really interesting about the whole thing is that there are people out there that are actually putting the shit into videos, and I don't understand the gain out of it, especially when it's a little kid show. Honestly, as fucked up as it is, I would say more or less it has to do with it's kind of like sending messages to kids in a weird fashion, I guess you could say. And who knows, at the end of it, I kind of had to stop and think about this. Maybe this wasn't supposed to be intended to be an attack towards things. It probably started off as a meme, even though telling someone to go kill themselves isn't necessarily a meme in the first place. That could be taken very, very seriously. And I don't know, it's kind of fuckery when you start to think about it, but at the same time, I'm sure this probably even started off as a meme at one point in time, and then it just progressively got changed as like to each sender it went through. And this is coming through text messages, sometimes even WhatsApp messages, all sorts of fashions. And you know, it's becoming more of a meme again than anybody taking this shit seriously, because obviously there hasn't been any cases where this is telling people to actually go kill themselves, or Momo's coming to your house to kill you, essentially. I forgot to mention that part, I do apologize. But nonetheless, I don't know. I didn't even like put a script together or try and like, you know, memorize topics like how I usually do in one of my videos. I'm kind of just speaking outward and openly, and I just whipped out the camera and just started talking to you guys. So honestly, this whole situation is kind of getting to the point where it's on that borderline where it's something that parents obviously need to take in consideration. Pay attention to what your kids are watching. Don't just hand them a tablet and just say, you know, just stay quiet. You know, mommy or daddy is gonna be talking to so and so for, you know, so and so long, or I'm going to a meeting. You know, you don't understand what I'm saying. But you know, I understand. You know, electronics have become very, very dependent on as time has come on, and as we progress in, you know, in life, technology is definitely part of our lives, and it's definitely here to stay. But what's interesting, the fact that the little sneaky things that can get away from us, such as kid videos. I mean, obviously regulations and the TV regulations have changed as time went on versus when I was a kid. Certain things can't be shown now, and you know, it doesn't really compare to what's going on now, especially telling a kid to kill themselves. I mean, as we know, kids are very what's the word? I can't think of it. They like to imitate. They like to be the person that they're visualizing, or somebody they see. I remember when I was little, I always wanted to be like my dad. Now I look like him. So, you know, at the end of it, kids are very influenced by things, and especially the fact that you're trying to sneak something into telling them to kill themselves seems kind of fucked up, even though I'm pretty sure they don't know what committing suicide is, or even if it's something to tell them to go kill themselves, they're probably like, they're not really truly processing it, but it goes through their mind. And you really don't want a kid age of 5 thinking about, ooh, what does killing myself have to do? You get my point. And I know this is becoming more of a rant, but I think it's still something that, an issue that needs to be taken care of. And you know, YouTube is going to get on top of it. We all know this. We all shit on YouTube for the first month, and then as soon as YouTube finally releases the so-called patch, they'll take care of the situation, just like everything else that's ever gone on in the YouTube algorithm, the YouTube issues. But nonetheless, this is just something that's, I guess, you know, it's going to run its course and it's going to come to an end pretty soon. But nonetheless, I thought I'd weigh in my little perspective on the whole thing. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, I know I've been all over the place on this video, so I'm glad that you all stayed with me to the end. But like I always say, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. What is your take on the whole Momo situation? Do you think it was started off as a meme? What's your whole conspiracy thought behind that? Even though, you know, none of this is supposed to be a conspiracy, it's all just proven facts now. At this point, all the topic articles have pretty much all come down to just be more, just watch what your kids are watching, make sure it's nothing, you know, inappropriate, so on and so forth, just like everything else at the end of the day. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take off. I know, again, this video is all over the place, but thank you for sticking with me. I will see you guys in the next one.